Well, still on Donald Trump, he's warned Hamas that it faces complete obliteration if it remains in power in Gaza. Let's go to our US analyst Michael Ware for this and much more this morning. Good to see you, Michael. So are we nearing an end after all that's said and done and all the lives lost, both in Gaza and Israel? Are we nearing an end?
Well, in terms of this conflict, this is as good as it gets. This is without doubt the best so far when it comes to a real glimmer of hope for peace. But we are still such a long way away.
There's a huge but in all of this, isn't there? There's a huge but. There's so many questions.
Sides,
Hamas is not going to give up.
On all sides.
Yeah.
And neither is Israel. Neither is Israel. So, look, what's happened is that the Trump administration last week put forth a 20-point peace plan that they got the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to. Then on Friday, Hamas came out under intense pressure from their Arab and Muslim allied countries to agree itself, the terrorist organization, agree in principle to this deal. But it all comes with a qualification. We accept, but. And that's on both sides. There's such a long way to go. Put it this way, let me just start with the positives.
Yeah.
If the negotiations that begin tomorrow result in the hostages being freed and the worst of the fighting stops, that in itself, mate, is a win.
Huge. Yep. Correct.
And if we just get that and the other 19 points of the plan fall apart, we can still walk away feeling victorious about that.
Trump deserves credit for this, doesn't he, Michael? Trump deserves credit for this.
He does deserve credit for putting this plan together. But, you know, look, the one thing that would stop this war right now is if President Trump really pressured Benjamin Netanyahu. President Trump is really the only one who could end this unilaterally, and he's choosing not to do that. That said, the fact that these sides, the three sides, the Israel, Hamas, and the United States, are getting together in Egypt starting tomorrow, it's a sign that there is finally enough enormous international pressure on all of them to bring this grinding war to a halt. But as I say, if we get the hostages back and the worst of the fighting stops, look, that's a win. But you know, Hamas, while it accepts this plan, it hasn't committed to disbanding or disarming. Now, its command leadership has been absolutely decimated. Well, let's wait and see, because its command leadership has been completely decimated, yet it still maintains military capabilities and it can still regenerate its leadership and its fighting capability. That said, there are moderates within the movement who are very open, we're told, to disarmament. And there's even reports that the military leadership would agree to disarm if appropriate terms are found. One of the sticking points, though, is the disbandment of Hamas. What does that really mean? Okay, you can stop calling yourself Hamas, but you can continue as an organization politically. And one of the stipulations of the Israelis is that Hamas plays no future role in any kind of transitional or permanent governing authority in Gaza. Yet, under President Trump's own plan, there's a loophole that would allow Hamas to play a governing role, in that what the plan says that if anyone lays down their arms now, they can be granted a full amnesty. So that may allow the possibility for them to re-enter politics and potentially take up positions in the transitional committee to rule Gaza that is being suggested and which would be overseen by an international authority. At the same time, President Netanyahu has not agreed to one of the key tenets that would help bring a peace, which is the full withdrawal of Israeli forces. He's agreed under intense pressure just over the last few days from President Trump to at least cease the major offensive in Gaza City, to dial back the bombing. He hasn't stopped it, but he's dialed it back, and that he will hold his forces at the yellow line, which is a reference to their positions back in August. But he still wants to maintain a presence in Gaza and certainly buffer zones around it. So he may be as intransigent as Hamas hardliners could be, because Netanyahu's own hardliners mightn't like any of this.
That's
but
true.
Look, let's stay on the positive.
Yeah,
we get the hostages. If the fighting stops, call that a win, and let's sort all the rest out later.
Okay. We will leave it there. Michael, good to see you though.